her. It's a story from the mouse's point of view. It's called A Mouse's Story. Basically, the mouse is talking, and I'm intertexting it with something that I wrote when my house was inundated with mice 5 years ago. And when I did a lot of writing because I could see the mouse on a daily basis. They're not afraid of humans. The best thing to do is not to scream because they're not afraid of you. The only reason they run is because you scream. It's not going to do any good. Laboratory tests reveal that they can see just like we can. They can sense things. They can touch. They have, they can strangely they can recognize their mates, even their offspring, and they have a life expectancy of like 1 year to 2 years, mostly 2 years if they can get inside your house. But they're really not as bad as their reputation leads up to be. They're really quite tame, and some people even buy them in pet stores. They're just like hamsters. You have to, if you do that, you have to take care of them like you would a pet. They have to be examined and given shots because they do carry diseases like fleas. Don't think the bubonic plague because that's the rats. But honestly, they do recognize each other, and I thought that was so unique. But anyway, that's my intertext. It's the talking of the human, parts of mine, and parts from the story from the mouse's point of view. Okay. The mouse of the evening, I've long since grown accustomed to, is fascinated by the light and climbs ever so cautiously atop the table to watch over what used to be my kingdom. Until he arrived. I strike the match carefully so that the wick will light with accuracy. I envision the tiny flame reaching upward into the darkness, illuminating a dreary corner table. A mouse didn't think I'd mind, so he invited himself in. Maybe he's going solo. He could just need a friend. I left the light on every time I left the nest because I like to think the light would be on when I returned. But I never, ever returned. Now it's his kingdom. He observes and feels the warmth from the candle. He sniffs and gulps the water, bobbles his head back and forth. He wants the water in the jar that my flowers are in. He's undeterred by their beauty or their sense, smells of it, even though he knows how to smell. He's more interested in the water. His whiskers float up and down and up and down in the water. His ears are alert. I watch this little fella, oblivious to human or flame, fascinated by this tiny rodent. His mannerisms, his quirks, all the while, his tongue lapping at that water with wet noises. I love drink. I thought outdoors was a big house. I dressed as a mouse and found nature. I drank too much and tried to go to MAA. That's Mouse Alcoholics Anonymous. But it was the exact opposite of Anonymous. They smoked. So I had to leave. I could fit into anywhere the size of a dime or a penny. Mercifully, I observe my kitty cat watches too. He knows that Mouse's days are numbered and few. I found it difficult to believe humans existed. I tended to call all events beyond my comprehension catastrophes. I said to a cat once, "You must be really filthy because you lick yourself all day long." And then I ran. I hid. I was afraid. I barely slept. I couldn't eat. I was afraid, so afraid he would find me. He's a new visitor from the outside world. His tail trails behind him in a never-ending curl. I stripped the roses from my garden, prickly thorns and all. This mouse is a good climber. He doesn't fall. Then I get to thinking, I had great upward mobility. I could climb that table. Okay, I get to thinking some more. One mouse could multiply and be more. I looked down on other mice who didn't plan family planning and produced hundreds and hundreds of themselves. He climbs up my desk and gets lost in all my books. The clock looks like midnight. I enjoyed books. I cried for Edgar Allan Poe. And every time I saw a clock, I thought it the funniest thing I had ever seen. The hands go round and around and around and around, and they never get anywhere. And humans look at the hands like it's God. Quietly, I light more candles and sneak to the front door and peep around behind me. He wasn't so bad at all. I peek behind and I feel guilty, but he's eating my newspapers. I worship newspapers, and I read them to keep up with the news, if there's anything left of them. He wasn't so bad. His cuteness sublime. Alas, my little friend. He's gone. His tail trails behind. I ran like the wind, with sandals off. Just like the time I saw rats running from a burning building. I've seen humans do the same thing, trying to escape a sinking ship. I endured. I was loved. I loved simply and totally